Since returning to the States from our 3-month property search in Portugal, in our last episode, we visited with family in Florida and boarded flights to our next destination, Michigan, where you'll find us today. And while we share bits of us with family and our continued process of purchasing property and moving abroad, towards the end of the episode, as we board our flights to yet another destination, we get the devastating news that Hurricane Ian was headed directly for Drew's parents in Fort Myers Beach, where we had been just the week before.
Great.
Great.
I love it.
It's the best. We're back in the mitten and picnicking. Doesn't get any better than this.
It is Halloween at the Newman residence.
Ooh,
Oh my gosh.
that's cool.
Drew's cousin Josh, who collects ginormous decorations. And Christmas too. Can you believe this is just their house?
Hang on to your witch hats, goblins and ghouls. This Halloween is shaping up to be a stormy one.
Good morning. This part of our story is hard to document because we have so many moving parts, including our bodies moving to different countries and states, all while we are applying to be moving back to Portugal. And
do you have sufficient internet in Michigan if you're like in the middle of nowhere or not? Because to sign that power of attorney, if you find you have questions in the signature process.
what Drew and I were just listening to was a voice message from our lawyer in Portugal, letting us know that in order to give her power of attorney to help us finalize the documents on the watermill and sort of move forward with the promissory.
Basically, since we're not in Portugal, we need to give our lawyer the permission to sign documents and carry out responsibilities representing us there. And hopefully this will make the whole process go quick and smoothly.
Although we thought we could do it digitally, but what we were just learning is that we have to sign it physically and mail it back to Portugal and ASAP, because she can't move forward and help us make things happen until she gets these papers. So today we're signing the papers.
Let's do it.
I think we have to initial every page
But she said to call her about a video thing.
while we do it.
Yeah, she said if we have questions. So we need to just initial the top corner?
Yes.
Okay, there's a lot happening right now. Got the folder, got the signatures. There's so much to do. You guys want to see something cool? This is my uncle, 1982. He was the state powerlifting champ of Michigan.
Oops, his feet got left behind on that one. Oh, there we go. Hello,
What is your name?
this is Ed. I love him. He's a little kitty. The second you pick him up, he purrs.
One day.
I love you.
One day.
Kitties make it easy to wait for anything, like pizzas. You're so cute and you don't even know it.
I think he knows it.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe.
No, you gotta know how to say it. Josh, come on. You guys see what's going on down here? Tell him, guys. He has to say it.
He doesn't have to.
He does. Because we are making pizzas together tonight, and they smell so good. Pizza night! Whoa!
It's like art. We're making art.
It's a pizza night.
It's Ed's first pizza party.
Every day lately has been pretty exciting. We're learning new things about our whole property project, taking care of the D7 application, and today we're having a call with one of our friends in Portugal who's been a super big help, letting us know if the prices that were being quoted for our architecture project, for some of the land building options, is really what we should be paying, or if we're getting taken advantage of.
Hello out there!
Hey, how are you today? Brittany and I are working from my cousin's house today. He and his wife are out of town, so we have kind of a nice little place to work and get some things done, so you caught me at a perfect time.
Basically, in a nutshell, it all looks good.
Okay, that's great news.
The architect seems to be very reputable. He seems to have his ducks in a row on how to put a very detailed proposal together. He seems to be covering all the expenses you're going to have, except for if you need a topographic map drawn of the property, and a surveyor, basically, he's going to charge you extra. Basically, I didn't see anything that jumped at me. I showed it to my architect, like I told you, because I wanted his opinion on it. And he didn't see it either. So I think you're good with regards to that.
You had told me initially to expect anywhere from like, I think you said 6.5 to 12, so this is right in that range.
Yeah, if he had the CAD drawings, then he could just hop in there and extract from the original files and just put his stamp on it, and that would have been closer to like 8 grand kind of thing, I would imagine. But because he doesn't, he's got to draw it from scratch.
I tried to reach out to the past engineer, the architect, even the owner, just anybody who might have it, and unfortunately, because I knew that would save a few grand.
Surprise!
We are here at the airport in Detroit. It's been a really nice week catching up with friends and family here in Michigan.
He likes it.
Feels nice. She was taking care of me.
Gentle.
Checking up on the business which I remotely manage, which is a radiology office, if any of you guys are new to our channel and don't know that.
Yes, I do have a desk, even though Brittany and I are always working from the van.
We're about to take a flight to Utah to reconnect and get back in our Sprinter van, Spirit.
We haven't been home to Spirit in nearly 5 months. We love you, Spirit.
Be well.
Can you believe that?
It's been a long time.
I think it's gonna feel nice and cozy to be back home. But speaking of home, today is actually the day that Hurricane Ian is heading towards our families in Florida.
On the west coast of Florida in Fort Myers.
So it's hard to think that we are actually boarding a flight today, but luckily the skies here are calm and clear, and all we can do is pray for protection over our loved ones and over everyone. So,
and yes, when you'll be watching this, it will have been way down the road in the future from when this event actually took place, but check out the size of this storm. This is an absolute monster.
And it's hard not to solely be thinking about that right now. So that's why we just have to explain it right now to you guys.
And this video has been quite the process of the whole D7 experience for us, flying from Portugal to Florida, being there, flying to Utah, being here in Michigan. We are just all over the place right now. It is quite the transition of our lives, but we have some very exciting things coming in the future.
And we thought that we would have mailed in our D7 paperwork at this point, but there was an added snafu. Basically, because we claim residency 150 miles away from the consulate in Washington, D.C., we are able to mail in our application in the prepaid envelope that they send to the address on file, that address being Drew's parents' home in Fort Myers Beach, which unfortunately wasn't going to have a normal mail route for quite some time. And while applying for residency and purchasing property abroad certainly has not been a quick or easy process, it's services like that provided by the sponsor of today's episode that look especially appealing for those looking to buy in the States. With exclusive off-market land plots which cannot be found on any real estate sites, meaning that there's no commission or additional fees to be paid, which helps explain why the plots are so cheap. Plus, you can choose easy monthly payments, some even lower than $200 a month. And these are plots where you can start to build your very own dream home, maybe start profitable farming, or even a campground. You simply choose the property you want at discountlots.com, click a button, and boom. Plus, you'll get an extra 10% off using our code in the video description below, meaning that you'll get 10% off your monthly payment plan, or if you're buying your land all at once. And if you have any additional questions, they have a ton of resources on their website, like if you're wondering about visiting your land before purchasing it. But who knew land buying could be so fast, simple, easy, cheap? Where have we been? Maybe they'll offer some international options in the future. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think we have a plane to catch. We gotta go.
And we'll give you guys a storm update in the future.
Yeah.
All domestic passengers must be on board the aircraft 20 minutes prior to scheduled departure, or your reservation is subject to cancellation.
So this is what we've been sharing in our stories today. That is the monster eye of the nearly Category 5 Hurricane Ian.
But you got to get away from windows, away from exterior walls. You want to maybe put a helmet on, put a mattress over you. This is the take final shelter for the winds of a major hurricane.
Can you see that? That's Drew's parents' front door on the left and my dad's dock on the right. And the storm hasn't even hit yet.
Now sit back and relax or sit up if you tense. Either way, it's going to take us an hour and 85 minutes to get to Denver. We're already moving, so we've got your money. I'm going to dim the cabin lights just a little bit because, well, I'm just better looking in the dark. Beauty is a light switch away.
We're currently at our layover here in Denver, and we just got a news update from my dad, and the hurricane is it's destroying Fort Myers Beach. It breaks my heart because we were just there, and it's such a beautiful place, and not only are there people who didn't leave, but there are so many animals. I'm trying not to be the person crying at the airport. We still have another flight to catch. Just praying so hard for our parents' house to stay strong, and we are so grateful that they left. Hey, just trying to hold it together here.
How are you?
Good. We're just sitting in the van. We took your mom's home, Brittany, and went to Costco.
Jamie told me there's about 6 inches in the garage right now.
Wow. Right now?
Salt Lake City. On time. Just wanted to point out behind me that the flights to Tampa, Orlando have been canceled today.
Thank you.
I have
too. All right, thank you.
One more flight to go, babes.
Just following hurricane updates every second that I can.
This has been a very, very eventful day.
It's very consuming.
Brittany's feeling for a lot of people. I am too.
Yeah.
It was nice to talk to my parents, though. They seem pretty calm, collected, and relaxed.
Yeah.
Even other houses flooding. What a terrible thing. We got some updates from some of our other friends in different neighborhoods around the area, and there's water coming into the back of the patios, which is...
I mean, some of them have 6 feet of water in their homes.
all their possessions are floating out on the back porches.
And it's not even nighttime, and the storm is going to be happening through the night.
One thing I should say is that rescue workers won't come out if there's winds over 40 miles an hour or if the conditions are unsafe, if there's power cables running through the water. But as soon as the whole eye of the hurricane passes, people will get out there. We'll give another update when we hit the ground in about another hour.
Mother Nature is definitely
taking its course.
A force to be reckoned with. At this point in our Hurricane Ian saga, it was high tide and the storm surge all at once. But all we knew was that our family was safely evacuated. And all we could do was keep on pushing through a long and emotional day of travel and jet lag before finally arriving home, or at least to the storage unit where we had left our home, which we hoped we could start and move.
So it's been 4 months since we've been at our van here at the storage unit, and the battery's dead, unfortunately, on the starter. So I might be able to connect it to the house batteries and jump it, but I also have a handy-dandy backup starter unit. See how we get this thing started.
And if all else fails, at least we have our kind Uber driver, Joseph, to help out. He's on standby.
So I just tried connecting it through the isolator switch to the house batteries, and unfortunately, nothing's starting. There's no click in the ignition. We're gonna try option 2. But we have solar into the house batteries for the back of the vehicle. So let's see, this is at 98%. I think I just do that.
And then we start the car?
I think that's the trick. Isolator switch is on. I hear beeping.
Oh, she's
I think
alive.
our house batteries are gonna do it. That's a weird sound. I don't want to kill the battery.
This thing's beeping in here. Drew's back here. We're gonna see if we can't plug in and make that work.
That's the hope.
Today's just one thing after the next.
Lucky Blue, you've been hibernating so well back here. I can't wait to fire you up. Let's do this. Battery's dead on Lucky Blue too. I'm 0 for 2. That feels good. Big moment, big moment, big moment. Alright, that's a good sign. Oh, we're rolling!
Being back in spirit just reminds me of how beautiful our home is.
So I just got off the phone with my parents. It's the morning after the worst hurricane came through the area of Southwest Florida. They're saying it's the 5th strongest hurricane that's hit and made landfall in the United States. It was less than 2 weeks ago that Brittany and I were sitting in Times Square. It's just unbelievable that there's nothing left.
The anticipation that his parents must feel not knowing what's left of their home. It's so unsettling, and you can't get to the islands where people are. Sanibel, people are completely cut off. So with all of this being said, we have looked at our map trajectory because we are currently in Salt Lake City, Utah.
You guys see that? 2,500 miles.
That's more than we've driven in I don't even know how long. But we're doing it. I think we're gonna have to do this. At least we can go and help.
It feels like the right thing to do.
I can't think of anything else to do. I can't think of anything else.
We certainly can't just go hiking and adventuring as we typically know it.
And remember the watermill? Well, we have some very important things.
Details to still fill you in about that, which we're not gonna say right now.
But that's all supposed to happen next week. And I just... But we also have to take care of ourselves.
Which means we need to go get groceries.
Yeah, we need to go get some food.
Our van is very, very empty on provisions right now.
Yes.
For good reason.
To the food.
Let's go.
Join us in our next episode as the long journey down to Florida begins. Thank you to everyone who's helped us raise funds for Hurricane Ian relief efforts. Once we get our families in a good place, we look forward to helping those who were completely devastated by this storm. Together, every person, every little bit, every dollar, every ounce of energy, every good thought, it all makes a difference.